everyone. I hope you are all doing well. Together we are going to see more about a refugee story, reading comprehension, and also listening and speaking. I'm njëmbëdhjetë and you are using LiveBeat 4 as your book. Now you are going to see more about Kordeng, the story of Kordeng, who is a refugee, and we are going to see more about his life in the USA.
Recording 9. Lesson 3D. Exercise 1.
Refugee Case Study. Kordeng. Kordeng was born in a country in Africa. Kor was the eldest of 6 children. When Kor was 15 years old, civil war returned to his country. It became a dangerous place to live. Soldiers and armed men were everywhere, and friends and neighbors in Kor's town no longer trusted each other. Kor's mother was a strong woman, and she looked after her family with pride. Kor's father was a head teacher, and the whole family respected him. The family didn't want to leave their house, but after a year, the situation became very dangerous, and they decided that they had to go. One morning, they packed some possessions and left their town on foot. Kor's uncle came with them. They walked for weeks. Eventually, they crossed the border and came to a refugee camp. Conditions in the camp were very difficult. There was no electricity and very little water or food. After 4 months in the camp, Kor's parents and uncle discussed the situation with Kor. "We are refugees now," Kor's father said. "Life here is very hard. We must stay to look after your brothers and sister, but you are 16. You are old enough to leave." "But where can I go?" asked Kor. "I think you should go to the USA," Kor's father said. "We can apply for a refugee visa. Then we will borrow the money for your plane ticket. When you are in the USA, you can finish your education and get a job. Then perhaps you can help us." "That will take a long time. And how will we pay back the money?" Kor's uncle said, "I think Kor ought to go back to our country. He can go to the capital and find a job. Then he can earn money and help us all." "The capital is 1,000 miles from here," Kor's mother said. "It's a big city, and he'll be on his own there. It is better for him to stay here and help us." "I don't want to leave you," Kor said, "but I want to help. I will do what is best for the family." Fact file. There are about 16 million refugees in the world. Most refugees lose everything: their homes, their possessions, their friends, and often their family.
As you could see, this was a very delicate story about Kordeng. The new words that we had in this text were refugee, eldest, civil war, armed, trust as a verb, then pride, respect, situation, eventually, border, refugee camp, visa, and payback. Now we will see more about answering questions, and we will see the message that this story had. So here we've got where is Kor from as an example, and we can see that it's a country in Africa according to the text. You will continue with the rest, which are the second question until the 7th question. So now we are going to continue with the speaking tip, which is taking time to prepare. Every time before you start speaking, take some time to prepare what you want to say. Try to use new language to make your point. This will help to improve your speaking. And now you will continue with your peers with role-playing. Work in groups of 3, choose one of the roles below and prepare. So now you are going to see more about the feelings that Cor's father had, Cor's mother had, and also Cor's uncle. Next, we've got a listening exercise, and you will see about the story of what American peers of Cor think about the idea of him being one of their friends.
Unit 3, Recording 10, Lesson 3D, Exercise 5.
Okay, put your pens down, please. That's the end of the history test. Before you go, class, I just want to remind you, a new student is joining our class next week. His name is Kur Deng, and he's from Africa. Please try to make him feel welcome.
Africa? That's interesting. I wonder what he's going to make of the USA.
I imagine he's going to find it a bit of a shock. His country is very different from the USA.
Oh, that's great. Another student who's not from this country.
What do you mean, Ashton?
Nothing, sir.
Well, you can say what you think, Ashton. Freedom of speech is an American value.
Well, sir, I mean, he's not from this country, so why is he here?
I don't know, Ashton. Maybe he had to leave his country. Maybe it wasn't his choice.
But why is he here? He's not American.
Where are your parents from, Ashton?
My mother's from Los Angeles, and my father's from New York, sir.
And your grandparents?
Well, on my father's side, my grandfather is... Well, he's from Italy. And my grandmother is, she's from Ireland.
And are they American?
Of course they're American, sir.
You see, Ashton, I know you don't like studying history, but American history is all about immigration. There are people from every country in the world here.
My mother's from Iran, sir. She didn't want to leave her country, but she had to.
Oh, exactly, Lauren. We don't know why Kur is here, but I guess that his life has been harder than yours so far, and that he will need some help and support when he arrives.
Don't worry, sir. We'll look after him.
You too, Ashton.
Yeah, I guess so, sir. Does he play baseball?
No idea, but you could teach him. Have a nice weekend, guys.
Okay, so according to this conversation between the teacher and the students, you could see how they are reflected when they heard about a refugee coming to their class. Now, continue with writing your opinion about the story of a refugee, or how would you welcome or how would you expect this kind of news. Next, you are going to read the text and put the paragraphs in the correct order so that you can see which is the starting point and, of course, the last paragraph. Here we've got the numbers 1 to 3, and you are going to decide which one comes first. So we've got A, which is second, B, which is the first, and C, which is the third. Now read the text and answer the questions with one word or year in each gap. So here we are talking about Mr. Jean, who was born in Haiti, a poor island in the Caribbean. When and where was Mr. Jean born? He was born in 1972. Place, Haiti. Where did he grow up? He grew up in New Jersey. Why was the band named The Fugees? The name is short for refugees. What does yield mean? It means a cry for freedom. What did Matt Damon do to help the people of Haiti? He served food to people who had lost their homes. Thank you all for your attention. Have a great day and see you next class.